When you think fighting games, what's the first game that comes to mind? What did you say? Oh, Street Fighter. Alright, when you think fun fighting games, what's the game that pretty much embodies that? Okay, I got one for Super Smash Brothers and some Marvel vs. Capcom players. Okay, never mind. What's a fighting game that was so brutally intense, gore-packed, and bone-crushing that it practically godfathered the reason the ESRB exists today? That's right, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was known for lethal uppercuts, jarring fatalities, danger-filled stages, controversy, toasty, the reason your parents wake up in a cold sweat every night, and a bunch of fucking ninja recolors. Mortal Kombat 1 was put together in 1992 by a grand total of 4 people. Ed Boon, John Tobias, John Vogel, and Dan Forden. Pretty impressive. I mean, I find it difficult to get 4 people together to run a YouTube channel, let alone make a video game. Sorry everyone, I'll show myself out. John Tobias eventually left after working on Mortal Kombat 4 and Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. Although he seemingly ended on a sour note having worked on a lackluster game in Mythologies, at least he saved himself from rock bottom. Mortal Kombat Special Forces. Mortal Kombat began to hit their stride again with the eventual return to good quality games. I mean shit, Mortal Kombat is still relevant to this day. With the relevance of Mortal Kombat, the bewilderment of parents today saying, "Oh my god, kids play this?" Even though they should know that buying a mature-rated game for their children was a no-no. This begs the question that is on many Mortal Kombat fans' minds. What happened to John Tobias? Well, my friends, I have the answer. After the co-creator of Mortal Kombat left, he formed his own game development studio called Studio Gigante. Their first love child is an Xbox fighting game called Tao Feng Fist of the Lotus. John Tobias? Fighting game? No way! Tobias really wanted Tao Feng to stand out and differentiate it from other fighting games. However, when you're one of the co-creators of a widely renowned series like Mortal Kombat, hard to accomplish. I mean, for fuck's sakes, John, one of the characters is named after you. Noob Saibot. Boon Tobias. You can't escape this fate you've been given! Even before leaving Boon's side, this man had dreams. He wanted to create. He wanted his own studio. He had aspirations. Oh, John, no. In an interview, John Tobias discussed many of Tao Feng's defining features. Tao Feng boasted fluid combos, environmental-based attacks, limb damage during combat, and even health regeneration and special moves through the use of momentum-based chi meters. Hey man, that all sounds pretty cool. Let's check the game out.
You play harder?
What an intro. It's like a 2000s game trying to be a 1990s game. Riveting stuff, really. We're brought to a menu containing the game modes of Versus, Quest Mode, Survival Mode, Team Battle, Tournament, and Training. To better learn about the face-meltingly fluid combos, I'll hop on to Training first. We're brought to our Character Select menu where you can witness all the fighting game stereotypes you can play as. Old Fighting Master, Monk, bulky tattooed guy that doesn't talk much, Robot Girl, and literally Kano. Also, we have Cat Fighting Style Girl. What's with Mortal Kombat alumni in the black and yellow color scheme?
Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
You'd think that Master Sage, being the grandfather of Jade Dragon, would smack her upside the head for dressing like someone you'd expect to find hooking on the streets. Vapor resembles Soul Calibur's Ivy Valentine, and Wulong Goth looks like a disgruntled employee stationed outside of a Red Lobster. I expect to see him spinning a sign and spitting fucking bees at people who don't like the food. Also, the alternate costumes for the most part are pretty cool, but some of them can be pretty funny too. The Fatalist looks like Mel Gibson in Highlander, Wulong Goth's horns look like Maleficent now, and Exile looks like a fucking muscular hot dog covered in mustard. I don't even... There's also many innovative cool names like Divine Fist, Divinity, Fierce Tiger, Iron Monk, Exile, Vapor, Fiery Phoenix, Master Sage, the Fatalist, Jade Dragon, and Geist. Most of which sound like pre-generated Xbox Live gamer tags. Through the training mode, you can perform the combos you see pictured on the move list, or you can have them demoed to you. You have your basic combos, more advanced combos which rely on you switching to 2 other stances, taunting,
Ooh, smell the spirit within.
grab moves, some of which look like they've been derived from pro wrestling, judo, amongst other martial arts, wall dive attacks, and pull-based attacks. All of these go towards your chi meter, which you can then use for 3 of your special moves, or healing damaged limbs, basically only your arms or legs. So why this trailer showed ribs being broken, I do not know. But hey, look at these special moves! Well, that was weird. Check this move out. Oh, never mind. The only issue with learning the more lengthy combos is, well, who fucking cares? Seriously, when's the last time someone said, hey man, wanna come over and see my sick Tao Feng Fist of the Lotus combos? Never. Because that never fucking happened. You may as well pick up Divine Fist. Yep, that's some kind of combo. This carries over into a lot of the other game modes in Tao Feng. Versus, Team Battle, and even Tournament are all more multiplayer centric. Can you imagine convincing 8 of your friends to come over and play a mediocre original Xbox fighting game? I'm sure you'd be hard pressed to even persuade one of your friends. Not to mention, there's no online play for all those die-hard Tao Feng Fist of the Lotus fans.
Where are your friends now? I don't need any friends. I'm part of the darkness.
So unless you want to play 1v1 against bots, the only modes left are Survival and Quest. Survival is essentially just that. You pick a character and either beat your adversaries or wait till the timer runs out, and that's about it. Finally, we reach Quest mode, what I spent the most time on. You can pick from 2 teams, either Pale Lotus, the good guys, or Black Mantis, the bad guys. Each team has to acquire 6 ancient artifacts or items that have been conveniently broken up into 6 pieces and scattered amongst locations guarded by the opposing faction, all for the sake of entering the Temple of Immortality. So you pick your team and we're brought to a character select screen where we're given a little more information on our cast. Name, age, height, weight. Look, we got Fierce Tiger. Her name is Ice. Oh. Then we get to Black Mantis, and we have the Fatalist. Name, unknown. Age, unknown. Vapor. Name is unknown and age is unknown. Well, here we got Exile. He's 39 and his name is... What the fuck? How do you know his age but not his name? Yeah, no clue who this guy is, but he's definitely 39. That's what I know for sure. Let's forget that his face is covered by black ink to mask any sort of age-defining features. 39 years old. End of discussion. Regardless, we're also given the option to learn about their fighting styles and their backstories from the biography option. Backstories were decent enough. Parents killed by opposing faction, betrayal stories, rags to riches, seeker of justice, resentment of the world due to isolation, believer of predetermined fate, etc. So let's begin. Master Sage or Wulong Goth give you the rundown of what needs to be done through narration. They also explain your relation to the enemy you're fighting and why you should want to beat their ass. Although the voice acting is a little...
You are my great-granddaughter, and so you may someday take my place as the next Master Sage.
Does she not ignite a desire from within you to destroy something beautiful?
I felt like destroying something beautiful.
All this talk of revenge for this overrated warrior. I've had enough of it. Jade Dragon is a beautiful young warrior, isn't she? Yes.
rough around the edges. There is actually a certain layer of strategy in playing quest mode, being that you can select the order you fight your opponents in. The more opponents you beat, the tougher they get. So it's better to take out tougher opponents or opponents you have more trouble with as soon as possible. Depending on whether you play as Pale Lotus or Black Mantis, the set of levels you fight in are changed, meaning there are 12 default levels and 1 extra for the boss. Each level has certain destructible elements to it, and if you smack your opponent into them, you deal extra damage. I do actually dig the levels. They're diverse and aesthetically pleasing. Whether you're in an arcade, archaeological dig site, or the good old rooftop, we're still scrapping. Black Mantis? More like Glass Mantis. Why can I wall attack off of a flaming truck? Why are 2 grown-ass men over the age of 30 in an arcade together? This is getting weird. Ho dogs, sausage fest, guess that stink? Excuse me? Each enemy has 3 health bars, so we really get to soak in all the riveting gameplay. The combos, although not as fluid as Tobias described, do work sometimes. Certain kicks and punches launch the enemy in the air where you can air juggle, somewhat like Mortal Kombat. It seems to work a lot better for certain characters in comparison to others. Fierce Tiger, Fiery Phoenix, Vapor, Jade Dragon, and Divinity all have really lengthy combos that are easy to execute. But in regards to the more elaborate pre-built combos where you stance switch, they just don't work well. Switching your stance and throwing out your first move takes several seconds, long enough to have your combo immediately thwarted by the computer player. Even when the combo is in motion, they can break free of it with a well-placed strike at any time. And yet it seems like the computer player can combo you forever with no sort of counter being possible. It's like you're paralyzed, hit stun forever, and you just have to take it. Kinda like those shower scenes in prison movies where the man drops the soap. Yeah. Bad thoughts. So seriously, why is there no counter? You can sidestep before attacks or interrupt the CPU swinging at the air with a pull or wall attack. Once you get hit, you're at the opponent's mercy. So watch as Exile rolls into me like a kindergartner who hasn't learned how to play nice yet. Fuck this. So you might have noticed... Perhaps you noticed... Perhaps you've noticed the constant interruptions by the narrator. Like I've already mentioned, there is limb damage that can be dealt to the arms or legs of a character. It's actually very easy to accumulate damage if you repeatedly use the same combos over and over on your enemies and knock them to the floor.
Say goodnight.
Then we have to wait for the opponent to stop crying and scrape themselves off the floor. And remember those 3 health bars? Each time you or your opponent deplete each other's health bar, you're planted on the floor again, and there's another in-game cutscene, and each time it looks more and more like you got mauled by a polar bear. You can turn off limb damage, but I'm literally playing the way the game intends you to. You consistently have to wait after doing pretty much anything. It's like if you're in the middle of a marathon and at each checkpoint you're put into an elevator where you have to wait to get back into the race. While I think it's neat that you can damage your opponent in such a manner, it breaks up the flow of the gameplay. If you have a moment of peace between grunts, screams, and attack callouts, you might notice that there's actually music. It's not bad, but it's nothing awe-inspiring either. Meh. The camera in this game isn't anything to write home about either. With characters consistently doing slides, flips, and environmental-based attacks, the camera turns unexpectedly and it gets really disorienting. Sometimes the camera flips for no reason at all. So if you're getting hammered with repeated combinations and wish to backpedal and avoid further onslaughts, sometimes the camera will switch and you'll start running towards no man's land and get turned into a pile of broken bones and blood. Hell, I fear that sneezing or scratching my balls would somehow cause the camera to freak out. It's just bad. When you win or lose, we're also given the privilege of a victory or defeat comment, some of which are really bad lines that play off their names or fighting styles.
Dragon
Wake
is
a
the winner.
sleeping dragon and bang, you're dead. Never tangle with the tiger. You can slay the dragon, but its spirit lives on.
Ugh. As we're plowing through the competition, we reach certain characters of interest who should have more screen time in campaigns, being that their stories intertwine like Fiery Phoenix and Exile. You know how in Tekken, how before certain fights there's a cutscene where the characters say what they gotta say? Nothing like that here. So after having your parents brutally murdered, you literally have nothing to say except a shitty pun? And I know what you're thinking. Well, Exile was described as the quiet type, but no. This is all we get from any character quest. Divine Fist has nothing to remark about Divinity's betrayal, Master Sage doesn't have shit to say about Wulong Goth, and Iron Monk has nothing to say to anyone despite being fucking enslaved by Black Mantis. What the fuck? This would have made the game so much more replayable and interesting, but nope, nada, nothing. Zip. As we reach the end of the road with our character, we beat our final challenger who bears the last piece of our artifact. And nothing. We're brought back to the character select screen. Would have been nice to even have a small interlude of our hero's triumph, putting together the artifact, presenting it to Master Sage, speaking about how their way of harmony is the best. I guess the only thing to do is get to the end. So we brutalized the same 6 opponents in the same 6 stages with our 5 other allies. To put it into perspective of how long a process this was, that's 36 fights. 36 fights where you have to knock down your opponent 3 times. Not to mention my disc sucks and would randomly stop working. Son of a bitch. Now we reach the Temple of Immortality to speak to our master, but first we must battle the Guardian Zhao Yan in an honorable bout. Holy fuck, this guy's got 2 swords and a sweet goatee. How is this fair? This battle functions similar to that of a King of Fighters boss battle. You pick the order of your characters, you each get 1 life bar, as does the boss. Zhao Yan likes to show off his sweet katana skills by swatting at air. Boy, your mama must be proud. Pro fighting game advice: don't let a boss hit you. Swords hurt the soul, and getting comboed makes me cry. But in all honesty, this boss is the easiest battle I've ever seen. All you need to do is block, and as you get pushed to the wall you can wall attack, and since you have invincibility frames when you initially wall dive, you can't be punished. Even if your opponent is blocking, they still take chip damage. So once Zhao Yan is fallen, here's our payoff.
You have fought well, and with honor. You have earned the right to appear before Shou Sing.
Men have waged war in search of the great elixir of immortality. However, Lo Shu, I sense that you are not here for the elixir.
We seek guidance and wisdom.
There is no right or wrong, only harmony. And through the practices of the Pale Lotus, you will bring harmony and peace. You will find balance. Tell your pupils to stay the path, and they too will find balance. May harmony continue to guide your path.
That's it. We fought through 37 fights just to have this oh so wise messiah with the best eyebrows I've ever seen tell us to keep doing what we're doing. Alright, maybe the Black Mantis will offer more of a payoff. I mean, they are evil, power-hungry assholes after all. Firstly, let's talk about Exile. Exile is the face of this game. This sluggish, brute, hard-to-utilize stereotype of a character is featured on the disc and box of the game. Did this 39-year-old man-child just stomp his feet like a toddler that didn't get his way? Why is his face plastered in the box and disc if he acts like a little bitch? It's like Wulong Goth even knows he's a prick. Just listen to this guy.
You have been crushed. You will continue, or you will die. Weak fool. Your quest has ended.
I've never had a character in a video game be so verbally malicious to me. Dear God, brutal. So once more we have to stomp out the opposition. 36 more fights later. Zhao Yan isn't happy with how immoral we are and how we fought, and says we're not able to see Shou Sing. Wulong Goth acts like an entitled little brat in some of the best bits of voice acting in this game.
What? We have collected the treasures as instructed. You will not pass.
How dare you deny me? Turn and kneel before Goth.
Be gone.
If you will not hand over the elixir, then we will take it.
If you will not leave this temple, then this will be your final battle.
I don't think they thought anyone would play this far, so they just gave up on the voice acting. So this time I whooped Zhao Yan even worse, only losing 2 teammates this time. Geist putting in work. I even managed to close it out with the ringleader, Wulong Goth. Zhao Yan falls over and Shou Sing appears, and despite him being immortal, Wulong Goth decides to make fun of him and then make demands for the elixir of immortality. How does that work? You can't just dispatch their guardian, talk trash to them, and expect him to comply. Come on, dude. Shou Sing says that if he is to hand over the elixir, Wulong Goth has to take on the role of Shou Sing's new protector. Wulong Goth refuses and threatens Shou Sing unless he hands over the coveted prize. Shou Sing questions how Wulong Goth is supposed to take him out, being that he has immortality. But wasn't your guardian supposed to be immortal? Look at him now, he's taking nappy time. Goth charges the old man and he retaliates with a laser beam which causes a cave-in? Wulong Goth sputters, "You'll pay for this," and grunts as he exits. End scene. Yep, that's it. So many questions. Where did the rest of the Black Mantis team go? What happened to Shou Sing? Did Wulong Goth escape? Why did we waste countless hours just to get an unsatisfactory conclusion which ends up angering the player above all else?
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Well, here's our reward for beating both campaigns. We unlocked this big lug, Zhao Yan. Zhao Yan is one of only 2 unlockables in this game, the other being the stage where you battle Zhao Yan in. So this is cool, right? You get to play as the end boss who brandishes 2 swords and has the appearance of a man who isn't fully thawed despite being free from his meat locker homeland. Awesome. However, just like everything else in this game, Zhao Yan is a squandered opportunity. Why is that, Silent? Wouldn't a team of dual-sworded warriors be cool? Yeah, but you can't use them in team battle. Well, what about dismantling the entire gauntlet of characters by hacking and slashing them to bits via survival mode? Nope. No can do. Does he have his own quest mode where he defends Xiao Xing from all 12 characters in an Iron Man style campaign? Nope. So what can you do with Zhao Yan? Well, he's only usable in versus mode. So unless you want to beat up on bots or an unsuspecting friend, those 74 fights we went through? Yeah, entirely pointless. On top of that, this Blueberry Blade using Brute has less in his repertoire than other characters. He can hack and slash in various dash combos, but he has no throws and no special moves. How could you fuck up a game this bad where there's literally no reason to play it? No one would willingly join you to play the game modes for more than 5 minutes. Quest mode exhausts all fun of playing against computer players because you do it so many times, so the other modes aren't even worth trying if you go straight to quest mode. And the Unlockables don't even make up for the brutally executed endings that leave a sour taste in the player's mouth. This game offers nothing special, nothing imaginative, and only really serves to taint the legacy of John Tobias. Everything about this game feels wrong. This game deserves a new title. Tao Feng, Fist of the Lotus? I think not. Let's try Hal Bland, Fist of Mediocrity. That fits better. God, even the demo reel in this interview is trying to escape this game. Following the release of Tao Feng and its mediocre reception, Studio Gigante made one more game before closing up shop. Was it a good game? No. No, it was not. In fact, unbeknownst to me, I actually already own this game, WWE WrestleMania 21. So what did Tobias do after leaving Mortal Kombat and closing up Studio Gigante? He worked on an illustrated comic book for Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, and now works at Zynga as a creative director. Yes, one of the founding fathers of Mortal Kombat is now employed at a company responsible for games such as Farmville and Mafia Wars. A somewhat sad tale. Tao Feng on paper had some good ideas, but they were so poorly executed, and the gameplay just didn't offer a lot of replayability or fun for the player. And that just about does it for Tao Feng Fist of the Lotus. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned.
Okay, question from K7. Is there a possibility of Tao Feng 2? Or Tao Feng 2?
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.